Just chatting with a newer friend, Julia Willets, and in real estate investing and in business, we say it's a contact sport and a numbers game. Really excited to have a chance to chat with her again and follow up about see what she's doing that's working for her as a hard money lender here in Southern California. Julia, thanks for taking time with us today.
Yeah, thank you, Bill, for having me. It was nice meeting you at the event the other week and happy to continue the conversation.
So tell us a little bit about what you do. You're a hard money lender. And so you have a particular focus within that space?
Sure. Yeah, so I'm a hard money lender with Merchants Mortgage. So we only work with real estate investors. We do the short-term fix and flip loan. And then just recently we got a DSCR product. So now we can do the takeout and hold it as a rental. We are lending in 27 states.
Huh.
Which is awesome. We have really high leverage. We're up to 90% of purchase and 90% of repairs. Really competitive rates and fees in the hard money space. And we can close quickly and on time for you.
Wow. One of the biggest challenges in meeting people is, so many of us have a license to do so many things, but I always try to focus on what's something that you do particularly well, or your company has that's particularly effective. So if I just say to you, give me the one tool in your toolbox that's kind of your go-to, what would you say it is today?
Sure. Yeah, I would say it's communication. I think communicating all throughout the process. I let my borrowers know, hey, I've received your docs. Hey, it's submitted to underwriting. You're approved. Here's the terms. And then I'm also going to walk you through the process the entire step of the way. So I'm going to let you know what we're waiting on to close, what we need from you. And then once we get to the closing table, I don't stop there. I'm going to help you along the way. I can answer any questions about the draws or how to get into the refinance loan with us or kind of what the next steps are. So I think just communicating and being open and honest is something that's becoming more rare, but that's very necessary.
Talk about a bit about the type of loan you do most commonly. If you had to only do one kind of loan or one kind of situation, but do a lot of them, which would you pick and why?
Sure. Yeah, so our fix and flip loan is really our bread and butter.
Mm-hmm.
Merchants has been in business since 1962 and then has been doing the fix and flip product for the past 25 plus years. So kind of before it really got popular. So the fix and flip is really my go-to and who a lot of my investors are. I work a lot here in California and in Colorado and Florida are kind of my main markets. And then typically it's single family, but we can do multifamily or condos or townhomes. But my bread and butter is the short-term fix and flip single family.
So I'm sure when you talk to your investors and investor prospects who are doing fix and flips, I hear all the time the same story, which is it's harder than ever to find the properties. Now, I heard that 10 years ago, I heard that 5 years ago, I heard that before COVID, I heard that during COVID, I hear that today. So what are the people that, I know you also work with some successful fix and flippers, what are the most successful fix and flippers doing that the ones who aren't need to do more of?
Sure. Yeah, and I wish I had some more insight on this because normally they just kind of bring me the deal and I do the lending. So I don't
Correct.
always hear the back end of things,
The
but
secret sauce.
the secret sauce. But what I do know from my boyfriend, who's a real estate investor, is kind of like what we were talking about. It's all a numbers game and just being really consistent. I know that he's found some amazing deals by doing door knocking or handwriting letters and kind of doing both in conjunction because you're oftentimes not going to get the first person that picks up the phone. So
Right.
you got to just keep a numbers game, keep persistent, and also showing that personal touch by meeting them in person or writing a handwritten letter or picking up the phone really does make a difference to acquire these off-market properties.
So it sounds like you're saying two things. One is there's a variety of techniques. It's not the technique, but you just got to do a lot of it or do it consistently. And second, whatever you're doing, you have to follow up to stay in touch with those people, or else you're just throwing the money away, right?
Definitely. It's not enough to just send one email. You have to reach people multiple ways. And I think there's some statistic that says people have to see something like 7 times or something before
Right.
they truly recognize what's going on. And I think that applies to real estate as well.
I think something like 80% of sales are done after the eighth attempt to close. And I think that's why when I, met you and I have the events that I do, I try to follow up and interview and meet and stay in touch because it takes time. And I also think people want to see some consistency before they're going to trust you with their profit or their commission on a transaction, right? So the more they see, the more comfortable they are.
Exactly, especially with something like real estate where, we're dealing with hundreds of thousands of dollars. This isn't just buying a shirt at TJ Maxx. This is something that you have to really earn the client's trust. And I want them to feel like they can reach me any time of the day and that I am going to communicate back with them and we can develop that relationship.
For the record, my daughter's a buyer at TJ Maxx
I
and
love
buys
it.
shirts. So just for the record, it wasn't an advertisement for her. She's watching this. I was completely unscripted, had nothing to do with it. But yeah, no, she's a buyer for Marmax, which is TJ Maxx and Marshalls and such. Kind of
I
small
love
world.
it.
Okay. So,
Must be on my mind, TJ Maxx.
well, it's funny because I told her I'd never been to a TJ Maxx, so she got the job. It's a pretty high-powered job for a young woman, and they fly around the country, and she goes to big manufacturers, and they buy they buy hundreds of thousands and millions of pieces. It's not a small business; it's a big deal. So we make fun of it. It's just a t-shirt TJ Maxx, but you can only buy one. But the buyer for TJ Maxx is buying like 1 million and putting it in thousands of stores across the country. So, okay, enough on my daughter. I appreciate getting a chance to meet you. Now, I saw you came to my networking event that I do monthly, the Brew Real Estate event. We do it the first Wednesday of the month at All Season Brewery. Not that this is an ad for that, but 5:30 p.m. Brew Real Estate. Reach out if you want to register for that. What other things do you do to generate business? What other meetings or what other events or what other activities do you do to meet people, meet real estate investors? They might be able to find you, or what are you doing that's working for you?
Yeah. So, kind of a variety of things. I love going to networking groups because I think that face-to-face communication does really go a long way. And
Mm.
I have met quite a few clients through those. I am a sponsor of a networking group in San Diego called the San Diego Creators Investors Association, which is a
Nice.
great group for any investors out there who are looking and also using the power of social media. I'm really active on LinkedIn. I do think that's a place where real business actually gets done.
Wow.
I've actually closed 3, 4 deals just through connections that I've made on LinkedIn.
Whoa. Let's stop here for a second. Let's go a deep dive on that because
Yeah,
I've been on LinkedIn since it came out. I participated in it. I broadcast to it. I go on it. I just don't see a pathway to generating business. So what do you do that translates from just posting stuff to actually getting business on LinkedIn?
sure. Yeah, so it's really about actually connecting with people that are in your field. So LinkedIn has Sales Navigator and other resources that you can use to kind of group people together. So I will only connect with people on LinkedIn who say that they're a real estate agent, a real estate investor, or a wholesaler. And then I'll typically send a message to them saying, "Hey, I'm Julia. I'm a hard money lender with merchants. We have really high leverage. Let me know if you want to set up a time to chat." And of course, it's another numbers game. So probably send out 100 messages and get 10 responses, but that's okay. And
Wow.
then, yeah, I've actually, one of my best clients, he's a guy out of Maryland. I've closed, 3, 4 deals with him now and have gotten referrals from him. We just connected on LinkedIn and
Wow.
had a phone call and the conversation and the business just grew from there.
So is it just that you're reaching out to them? Do you have a profile? Are there any strategies as far as to make your reach out, productive?
Yeah, I try to include something personal. So of course their name, and if I see that they're working with a company that I've worked with a lot, or know people there, I'm like, oh, I frequently work with XYZ. I see you work with them, and then I always ask directly, would you like to set up a phone call? I think taking it off the platform is kind of the next step to develop those relationships. So making it personal and then also just offering right away, hey, you want to chat on the phone.
I see you have a pretty detailed and professional looking LinkedIn profile. I imagine that's a part of the strategy, and also you post there as well.
Yep. Yeah. So I try to post at least once a week, if not more. The content that I post will be anything from client testimonials to flyers about our products. And then I also like to share before and after pictures of actual deals
I
that we
see that. I
funded.
love those.
Yeah, so that's always super fun. People especially love when I have the afters. I have some friends
Yes.
that get mad at me when I don't post them, and I'm like, they're not ready yet. They're still in progress. So people love seeing that.
I love that. That's fantastic. Well, look, I appreciate those details because it's not just LinkedIn, but you're doing certain things. Just I can see right off the bat, your profile is very professional, very complete. You participate there by posting things regularly there. And so if you're reaching out, because I get a lot of reach outs on LinkedIn, it just feels like they're all spam bots. I don't feel like anybody's any. And then you always get the, I don't want to get too racial, but you get the young, I get the young female, hey, how you doing? Well, I'm not interested in
Yeah.
that. I don't really get reach outs from professional people, or I get so many spam, I don't really notice it, but maybe it's part of it. I'm not really participating either in LinkedIn the way you are.
Yeah, I think too, things kind of get lost in the filter if you send the message before you're actually connected with somebody.
Aha.
Because you can send a message before you connect, which personally I don't do. I wait until they accept my connection because then I at least know that they want to see my stuff and
Right.
at least be connected with me,
Right.
which I think's help take it to a more personal level.
My mistake was when I started, I'm older than you. When I started, anybody who asked to connect with me, I said yes. Next thing you know, I got 5,000 people. I don't know any of them. I know, 500 of them maybe. And so I get these reach outs to most people on who the heck they are. And you end up getting crazy solicitations. So
Oh
maybe
yeah.
go through and clean some of those old ones out, maybe.
Yes, yes, I've definitely done that before and started a clean slate and just I'm only gonna focus on people in my field because these are the connections that are valuable to me and I want to help them and if they, need any shout outs or things for me to help with as well, I'm happy to do that on the receiving end.
Fantastic. Well, Joe, I appreciate the insights on LinkedIn in particular and your business in general, and look forward to continuing to work with you. Hope you can make it to our Brew Real Estate again next month. It's the first Wednesday of the month, 5:30 p.m. at All Season Brewery on La Brea, just south of Wilshire. If not, it's been lovely. Thank you for taking time today. We
Awesome.
appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Bill. I'm looking forward to doing more events with you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.